Peace, family. Out the Boss Media. Today's video will be about Black History Month. So-called Black History Month. Now, it's a lot of movements and and different well-known figures throughout history and things like that, and even as of today, that I'm gonna be going off to breaking down, and I'll let you guys know that this whole pro-black movement is not the way to go. That's what it boils down to. This has nothing to do with race and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with that. This is just something, a mindset that black, so-called black people. First of all, we're not supposed to be called black people. Black people is a corporate color identifier. Black and white are corporate color identifiers, meaning that that when you put that on your application, anything like that, they know exactly what category to place you in. That's what it boils down to. Last time I checked, black is a real dark color. Last time I checked, we were brown people, people of the sun or whatever, if you want to call it. So that's what that boils down to, So we have like I'm saying, we have a lot of fake movements, a lot of false figures throughout history and things like that I'm gonna briefly be breaking down here. I might even make a part 2 of this. I don't know, because I try not to let my regular videos, be too long. My documentaries and things like that, those kind of go, for a little while or what have you. But let's get right into it. Without further ado, let's go and get right into it. Now, like I said, you have a lot of false figures throughout history, and it's still false figures to this day that are really, that are running around this day, fake activists and things like that. So that's what that boils down to. Let's kind of rewind back in history and then come kind of fast forward. We're gonna go through a couple of history figures. Now, we're gonna go to Mr. Martin Luther King. Mr. Martin Luther King. They actually released an FBI file about Martin Luther King that pretty much they released a couple years ago, stating that he was pretty much, now allegedly he was running around chasing a escort prostitute, whatever, white prostitute, white females. He loved white women. That's what it boiled down to. He loved white women. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with him loving white women, but he put up a certain facade or persona that no one knew about, and he actually loved these prostitutes, having these different parties, orgy parties, and things like that, because he's definitely was down with the boule, which means the Masonic order, or those fraternities. The fraternities are just branches of the masonry. That's what it boiled down to, or branches of masonry. All these secret societies are there's branches up up under the Illuminati. That's what it boiled down to. So this whole he was a part of a frat, so was Jesse Jackson, so is Reverend Al Sharpton. They're all part of the frats. They're all frat brothers. They're all boule. That's what it boils down to. Alpha, Alpha, and all that stuff. They're down with those frats. Those different frats. MLK was no different. He was down with a frat, and like I said, he loved the women. He loved allegedly he loved the women, and allegedly he loved the white women. That's what it boiled down to. Coretta Scott King, she knew about these things and things like that. She knew about, these different, rendezvous and things like that. Like they would have different orgy parties and stuff like that. That's what it boils down to. Allegedly, this is what all I've read up on and I looked up on and, researched them on. Now, so, and that whole thing was pretty much orchestrated. Jesse Jackson knew that he was going to get his noodles knocked loose. That's what it boiled down to, and of course, a lot of times, often the guy that they blame is just a fall guy. That's what it boiled down to, and that's what it boiled down to. They're just a fall guy, and they're not the actual shooter. The actual shooter be an actual assassin or the military or something like that. Like I said, JFK for example, JFK, he got his brains blew back about his driving. You can actually see the video where the driver turns around and blows his brains out. His wife knew about that and everything. A lot of times, the people that are put around you are handlers, and there are people who watch you and they know about when your upcoming demise will be, just like Jesse Jackson knew about, MLK's demise, which he did not, he got shot, but he still was living, and the doctor that killed him in the hospital. That's what that boiled down to. So that's a little spiel on Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, like I said, I have to say this about Martin Luther King. At the end, he started to wake up, and he started to say, wait a minute, I need to, be asking, about reparations, about this whole kumbaya stuff. We need to be asking more about reparations and things like that. So he started asking that at the end, and then, they obliterated him. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. And like I said, he didn't die of the gunshot wound. He was still talking and everything, on the way to the hospital. He was fine, but a doctor actually killed him in the hospital. Pull a pillow over his face, allegedly. That's what that boils down to. So that's a little spiel on Martin Luther King. Harriet Tubman, Dane Calloway, I mentioned him a lot. Harriet Tubman, she was a false figure. That's what that boiled down to. I don't even believe Harriet Tubman existed. Dane Calloway will break this down. This we want to check into that and research into that. Dane Calloway is a good, very, very good researcher, and scholar in breaking the whole thing about us being indigenous people here and things like that. And like I said, black is a false, it's a corporate color, because of course America is a corporation. It's not it's not a quote unquote government or whatever. It's not a United States. It's United Corporation. That's what it boiled down to. United Corporation of America. That's what it boiled down to, and that's what America is. And you are, what I'm saying, everybody here, with your birth certificates and things like that, you are corporate. Your birth certificate is worth billions of dollars. And you're the actual commerce. You're the actual currency, should I say? You're the actual currency. And they know this. You working your time and your energy is the actual currency. Money's not the actual currency. You're the actual currency. That's what that boils down to. So that I will get off into that with another video about money. But back to these false figures like Harriet Tubman. Like I said, I don't even think Harriet Tubman existed. I agree with Dan Calloway. I don't think Harriet Tubman existed at all. I really don't. And I don't think these some of these other figures existed either. I really don't think that some of these other figures existed either. Like I say, Dan Calloway get off into that. That's what that boils down to. So let's fast forward to now to the quote unquote activist is now. There's Rosa Parks. Let me get off into Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks actually wasn't the one that was sit on the, that did that movement. It was a pregnant black, so-called black woman or what have you. She was pregnant, and they didn't really want that image, a young pregnant black woman, and they didn't want that image to be the face of the whole boycott of her sitting in front of the bus. So and not getting to the back of the bus. So they used Rosa Parks, which is another. She was an Eastern Star, part of the Boule. The same same characters. That's what that boils down to. The usual suspects. She was definitely an Eastern Star. You can look it up. So that's what it boiled down to. So you see how it's kind of making a pattern. A pattern that they use date people. And J. Edgar Hoover said himself, the next black messiah that we give you guys, that would be, we will create him. We will create the next black messiah. J. Edgar Hoover said that himself. That's what that boils down to. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that, they will create these people, these different figures that are these figures are created. Some of them are imaginary, some are created, from scratch and imaginary. And some of them that, that they build up, and these people are bred up and build up like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. These people are bred up to do what they're supposed to do. That's what it boils down to. That's exactly what it boils down to. And you have the fake activists of today with the Boule activists like Reverend Al Sharpton, which is always talking about police on police violence. Why are these activists, fake ass activists? I'm not talking about black on black. These people. Our people killing our own people in the hood and things like that. As always, police violence and things like that. He had went to a rally over in I think it was Mexico or something like that, or Puerto Rico or something like that, and they tore into his ass because he's not talking about, he's sticking to the script, and he's not talking about, like it's, like I said, black, they just like, don't bring that hate stuff over here about Trump and all that stuff. They don't want to hear that stuff, at the end of the day. And they ran them up out of there. So, these guys are false. Like I said, these guys are fake, and they're not really activists. They don't have, quote unquote, black people best interests in mind, in mind at all. They have the best interests of the boule, of the elite. That's what the best interest of Jesse Jackson. And there's another one. Jesse Jackson is another snake, just like Reverend Al Sharpton is a snake. These are all boule members, and like I said, they're just part of all the secret societies. That's what it boils down to. Okay, that's what it boils down to. Even like with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, which is a fake, false movement. It is that's under disguise as as a pretty much LGBTQ movement. Like I said, I have nothing against LGBTQ. Like at the end of the day, like people are people. I mean, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but at the end of the day, that's them. That's between them and the Most High. But at the end of the day, Patrice Cullors, she, pretty much was a scandal, and she was placed as the CEO, quote unquote CEO, and of course, it's ran by George Soros, which is a part of the Illuminati families, and he's a quote unquote, Jay, with the stores with. With the little what's the name hats, the little tiny hats that he wear on the head. The people I'm referring to. He's one of those, and he's a part of he's one of the Illuminati families. That's what it boils down to. So Patrice Cullors was a fraud, and all these black figures was a fraud. It's just a pattern, it's a big pattern. These people are frauds, and these people are placed in these positions. Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with the liberation and justification of, our black brothers, and sisters too, slain in the street. They have nothing to do with that. They have no voice with that or what have you, and they have voice for other stupid stuff which that has nothing pertaining to, our black brothers and sisters being slain in the street. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about our black brothers and sisters being slain in the street and we killing each other. Nobody talks about that. Like I said, this is not a whole race thing, but the so-called black man and woman had to wake up, and start teaming up, and getting back to being on each other's side, and they didn't put the black man and the so-called black man and black woman against each other. They didn't pit them against each other. That's what it boiled down to, because the black woman is, is mean, and as far as the black man is concerned, the black woman is mean. She got a negative attitude, and the black man is not, is ain't shit. That's what a lot of black women think. So that's what it boiled down to. But yeah, that's just a little spiel on the whole Black History Month. This whole thing is false. All these figures are false, and we need to stop. This whole pro-black movement. We need to get away with it. We need to be pro-righteous. That's what we need to be. Pro-righteous movement. All right, pro-righteous. Anything righteous. That's what we need to be swaying towards. You know what I'm saying? We are the. It was the original people. Hebrews, what have you. Original indigenous people to this land as well. Like I said in my other video or what have you. That's what it boiled down to. You can stop calling yourself African American. Check that video out. I break down, how we the indigenous people to Israel, and we the indigenous people to this land. And the original people were dark color skin tone people, and we were not called quote unquote black. We were not called black at first. All right, that's what it boiled down to. So yeah, you guys got to get out these movements, these BLM, this Black History Month and all that stuff. All the movies. Yeah, let me get go over that too. All the movies, these slavery movies and stuff like that. That's what they think of us. I hear she don't go back beyond slavery, and it's every time you look out, every year it's a stupid ass slavery movie coming out every single year. Stop going to seeing these slavery movies, y'all. Stop going to see these slavery movies. Boycott these damn slavery movies. All right, I'm sick of these slavery movies. It don't make any sense. It's ridiculous. All right, I hear she gonna go back nothing past the slavery movies. It's crazy to me. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's my spiel on that. Like I said, I might make a part 2 of this. That's what it boiled down to. All these history, these history buffs and things like that. They're false figures, and they were created by the, what I'm saying, the government. Right? The last Messiah, true Messiah, was not Jesus. It was Yahshua. That was the Messiah that was walking on this earth. That was the true Messiah. All right. Everything after that, the devil created these other, and the devil's people, henchmen, whatever, created these other so-called, black figures, messiahs, what you want to call them. But you guys be safe out there. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share the video for this Black History Month. Anybody want to know anything about Black History Month and things like that, and stop following these ridiculous trends, and stop looking at these stupid slave movies. You guys like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share the video. Be safe out there. Peace and blessings.